Alright, what is going on, world? So I'm actually sitting here and I just got an amazing message, and if you guys have been following along my journey, you will know that I posted up a video a while back from this lady named Shayna Allen Sisek. I think that's how you say her name. But what happened is I was researching her YouTube channel because she was heavily into veganism, raw veganism, and she was really pushing it to its limits. She was testing this out on her own body, and she had some issues and some side effects of it. If you guys are interested, you want to see that video, it'll pop up at the top of your screen here and also be in the description box below. But what happened was, while I was researching this lady and heavily diving into her content, all of a sudden one day all her content just disappeared. Like, she pulled everything down. But luckily for myself, because I was heavily researching this, I saved some of these videos, and I was very distraught that she pulled this down because I think a lot of people can learn from her situation. Now, in that video, she mentioned after being raw vegan for like 6 to 8 months, her tooth enamel started like melting away, which is absolutely crazy, and that was because of a lack of vitamin D supplementation. So she wasn't getting enough of it from her diet, she wasn't getting enough of it from the sun, and she wasn't supplementing this. And this is a big thing, is that if you are going to hop into these new diets and these new lifestyles, you have to be aware of what you're doing to yourself, what you're now adding into your life, and what you may be removing from your life by changing up your diet, by changing up your lifestyle. So I think she was an amazing example of what you should be aware of when you go into this stuff. And so, as I mentioned there, I reposted up her video on my YouTube channel because I feel a lot of people could learn from this. I messaged her when all her videos went down to say, hey, like, what's going on? Is everything okay? Like, you just kind of disappeared. She never ended up messaging me back, and now about 6 months later, I believe, she actually sent me a message saying, hey, someone left me a comment on my channel saying that, you know, you reposted my video. I just want to say, like, thank you for taking a different perspective on it. I'm not going to dive into her whole message here because we actually had a very good back and forth. And she's not like spiteful or anything that I did post this up. Hopefully one day I'll actually have her featured on my YouTube channel so we can discuss this, because I think she's an amazing human experiment for the world. She was heavily documenting her life, heavily documenting how she changed her lifestyle and her diet, and she had some side effects because of this. And I don't think that's bad at all. I think this is amazing, and these are the types of people we need to learn from. Now, a big concept that we discussed when we went back and forth there is this idea of false prophets in the world, and this is what I'm seeing all over the internet right now. So the definition of a false prophet is typically from religion. So in religion, a false prophet is someone who falsely claims the gift of prophecy or divine inspiration, or who uses that gift for evil ends. Often, someone who is considered a true prophet by some people is simultaneously considered a false prophet by others, even within the same religion as the prophet in question. The term is sometimes applied outside religion to describe someone who fervently, I'm gonna have to look that word up after, I've never seen that word before, but promotes a theory that the speaker thinks is false. And this is a big thing that I see going on the internet there, and we discussed in our little conversation there, is because, you know, I pop open, like, especially on YouTube, but especially on Instagram and stuff, because you see these people, like, they start up an Instagram account called, like, the Keto Lifestyle, or the Keto Life, or Keto Mom, or Keto Dad, and then you research these people and they've barely been experimenting with the ketogenic lifestyle. So I think it's great that we have people out there who are experimenting with these new lifestyles, these new diets, and documenting it for the world. But a lot of these people are trying to push others onto their same lifestyle. They go out there in the world, they do a little bit of research, they think, oh, a ketogenic lifestyle, or this new fad, or this new diet, veganism, or whatever they want to get into. Look at this, look at all the research behind it. Oh, this is amazing. I'm going to take this on and help others get upon that life, when they barely have any kind of, you know, background behind it. Now, what I always like to say here on my YouTube channel is that I'm never gonna tell you what to do with your life. Take the things that I'm saying, the concepts that I'm experimenting with, the long-term documentation and experimentation that I've done, and then apply that onto your lifestyle. Take this experimental route and figure out if it works good for you in your unique life situation. But I'm never going to tell you what to do 100%. And that is something that I want hopefully people who are following along my journey to see and understand is that if you're not going to take me 100%, someone who's regularly documenting their life and being as open and honest as possible, that you have to be highly judgmental of these people that you're seeing out there in the world, because they're going to tell you what to do. They're going to try to sell you some bullshit program on how to get upon it and how to do this really quick and how it's going to get you results. But if they don't have long-term documentation, if they haven't been documenting and displaying this on a YouTube channel or on Instagram or something long-term, just be very wary of it, because there are a lot of false prophets out there in the world. Right now I'm seeing a bunch of these people. I lightly discuss this on my Instagram, but people like Connor Murphy, Christian Guzman, they're making these videos now discussing how, oh, I lost muscle, and they're using all these reasonings, oh, I have a different camera lens, oh, the lighting's not as good, when they look completely different. Now, a lot of people are questioning if they're off cycle of steroids, and they're just not admitting that they've taken steroids. And this is another video I'm currently working on, is, are YouTubers on steroids? How can you tell? Is this an issue that's going on in our society? Because there's a video that I featured on my Twitter. I'll put that in the description box below as well. But in the UK, it's very easy to get steroids, and the 2 or 3 people that they featured in this documentary, you wouldn't even be able to tell that they were on steroids. They look fit, but this is stuff that is attainable naturally, especially if you use hormonal optimization. And that's a big thing that, like, it kind of discredits people like me, because it is very easy to assume and judge that if you see these guys out there in the world and if they're taking steroids, that someone like me must be taking steroids, or someone like Connor Murphy or Christian Guzman must be taking steroids. Now, I'm not saying that they are, I'm not saying that they aren't either. It's hard to tell. They're using a lot of excuses, I feel, as to why their physique has changed so drastically within a short period of time, and a lot of other people are questioning whether they are some of these false prophets, whether they're telling you that you can do this, you can attain these results naturally, when they are possibly on gear and on steroids. So this is just one thing I want to make a quick little video about. Shayna, thank you so much for reaching out to me. Again, I'd love to have you on my YouTube channel here and to discuss your journey, because I feel a lot of people could learn and benefit from your situation. And especially for yourselves out there in the world, if you are going to take on a new lifestyle, a new diet, document it. Create some YouTube videos, create some Instagram posts, and document that journey long term. But don't be telling others to hop onto this. Don't be pushing others into this diet and lifestyle if you haven't experimented with it for at least 6 months to a year. Because if you guys go back and see that video, it took about 6 to 8 months for her body to completely deplete a vitamin D and then start showing symptoms to the point that her teeth enamel were almost like rotting away. So it takes our bodies long periods of time. Like right now I'm experimenting with polyphasic experiments. I'm telling you guys what's going on with me, how I'm experiencing it, how it's affecting me and my lifestyle. But I'm not telling you guys to go do it. A lot of people are saying, hey man, well, what about like fat loss? How's your muscle growth being affected by this? I've only been doing this for about a month and a half. All I can show is my energy levels. All I can display is this. It's gonna take my body 3, 4, 6 months for it to start even taking noticeable effects. So this is one thing, you know, I hope you guys just be very wary of who you're watching out there in the world. Be very concerned about some of these false prophets out there. Now, I want to know what you guys think about this. Is there anyone that you were following in the past that you started to realize that they were a false prophet? Or eventually it came to the point that it was very obvious that this person was lying or, you know, hiding some stuff about themselves in their lives? Because this is stuff that I want to be discussing and featuring here. If we can kind of out to these people, if we can display to others that they are a possible false prophet, then I want to discuss this, I want to show this and feature this, because I think documentation, life documentation, being a human experiment out there in the world is super important. This is what we need. We need to change the way we conduct scientific studies. And if we have people out there who are lying and we use them as a human experiment, if we judge them based on their life factors and they're lying about their results and how they attain those results, and that will affect and skew these scientific studies and how we go about conducting them. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you have any false prophets in your life, in your world, and in your kind of like social media circle? Let me know in the comment section below, and on your way down there, go hit that like button. I am the Hungarian